All right. We are, all right. Are we good? Can you guys see my screen again?
Yes, we can. Yay.
Perfect. All right.
All right. So my name is Dr. Shane Spiker. Please call me Shane. Still not comfortable being called Dr. Spiker yet. I have been a behavior analyst for the last 9 years. I was a BCABA for a year, and then I've been a BCBA at the master's level for the last 8. I've worked in the field of special needs for about Oh no. Okay, there we go. Okay, I can unmute myself. Okay.
Yeah,
We got it. So I've been doing this for about 10 years, 12 years roughly, somewhere in that range. And I specialize working with individuals who tend to have crisis behavior. So I spend a lot of time working with individuals who are really dangerous, sex offenders, and work in kind of that realm, kind of the no man's land that nobody really wants to touch. I work in academia as well. So I do teach at a couple colleges, have a lot of fun with it, and just really, truly love behavioral science. So that's part of why I'm here, is to talk about behavioral science and get the word out.
awesome. And like I said, my name is Amanda. Full name is Amanda Thacker. I'm actually a licensed mental health counselor. So I actually studied clinical psychology in graduate school and graduated with a master's in clinical psych, and kind of got into applied behavior analysis really on the job. I worked at a group home where there was a BCBA, like Shane, working there. And all the interventions that they were doing with their clients made so much sense to me. So I was like, I just love this stuff. So kind of took that sort of path, and then wound up working for Positive Behavior Support Corporation, doing ABA services, serving in a behavior analyst role. And now actually I'm the recruitment manager for PBS as well. So yeah, I love working with the kiddos. Behavioral interventions have always been kind of how I've geared my sort of treatments for clients anyway. I've worked in pretty much all different types of settings. I've worked in group homes, in schools, in psychiatrist's office. With PBS, I work in home with clients, doing individualized ABA services and recruitment stuff. I meet people in person. I do some networking, on Facebook. I do some networking on LinkedIn. Kind of got my hands in a number of different things, but that's just a little bit about me. So if we move on to the next slide. All right.
Right as I went to talk, I had to cough, of course. So what is ABA? A lot of people, we get this question a lot. And as a matter of fact, one of the challenges that we run into in behavior analytic work is describing what we do in some kind of elevator talk. As a matter of fact, I work with people of like, you got to figure out how to describe this in a quick elevator ride so that you can actually describe what behavioral science is. And so the way that I look at it is this. ABA is this applied science of human behavior. And what we do is we work on behavior that's socially significant. We work on challenges that are important for the learner to improve their quality of life, but work on those important skills and reduce problem behavior as well. So like I mentioned before, where I tend to work with individuals with really intense behavior, like self-injurious behavior, or maybe they're hitting themselves, or they're physically aggressive, or they're eloping. What we try to do is work on those behaviors to help improve those behaviors, reduce them a little bit, and then also teach them replacement skills, teaching them to be able to communicate more effectively, teaching them to tolerate delays in reinforcement, or something like waiting. We all have to wait, right? Like right now, we're kind of in this space where we have to wait for our favorite restaurants to open back up. So we are in kind of this weird waiting game. And so we work on those behaviors, but we work on them for people that have really significant deficits. For example, a guy that I worked with when I first started, he would ask for something and be able to wait for maybe about 10 seconds before he would start flipping tables and start getting physically aggressive. Again, as a caveat, I work in crisis. I don't work with the younger kiddos. The majority of behavior analysts work with younger kiddos that have maybe some social skills deficits or maybe some challenging behaviors like tantrums. They don't typically work in my realm. So if you hear me say that, don't be scared. It's because that's just kind of where my experience comes from. That's like the well of my experience. But there's all kinds of different things that behavior analysts can do working with this behavioral science. Now, one thing that I always thought was really interesting about this is that it's applicable to any organism and a variety of behavioral challenges. So working out, health and fitness, studying, we use behavioral science to study, organizational behavior management, addiction, special needs, forensics, educational or instructional design. Wherever there's some kind of science or wherever there's humans, pretty much, behavior analysts could be there. As a matter of fact, One of my heroes worked at NASA doing training for astronauts using behavioral science. So it's a really prolific science. It's a really prevalent science, and people don't really know that it exists until somebody shows up and is like, hey, I'm a behavior analyst, check this thing out. So that's kind of a brief overview of what behavior analysis is.
Okay, so we want to show you guys a quick video that discusses a role that is called Registered Behavior Technician. We abbreviate everything, so to us this is RBT. Can you guys just kind of raise your hand, put your hand on the screen if you've ever heard like about like a Registered Behavior Technician role? I mean, no, we have. Okay, so that's why we wanted to show you guys this. We didn't know how unique it would be, so let me go ahead. I gotta move my thing here. All right, and then this will take like 2 minutes. Before I continue, raise your hand. Can you guys hear that music playing? Can you guys hear it? No.
No.
Okay, let me, all right. Yeah, all right, we'll try and get this working, but we may not be able to, which would be okay, so hold on. All right, let me try.
I know what I've had to do before is go into the advanced settings on screen share and have it to where it shares microphone and original audio sound from the computer. So that might be able to work.
Okay, thank you for that advice. Okay, and
Sam is a lifesaver.
I love it. Okay, music. All right, let's see. All right, we're gonna try this again. Let me know if you can hear music playing. Just Shane, you let me know if you just say yes. All right. Whoops. All right. That didn't work. So let me try one more time. All right. All right. Let's go to basic. All right. It may not.
I heard the music.
Oh, sure, computer sound. Okay, there we go. I think I got it. Okay.
There we go. Let's see how this works.
Yay, okay.
Behavior technicians play an important role within Team PBS. As a behavior technician, you will be working directly with clients who have been diagnosed with a developmental disability. These include, but are not limited to, autism spectrum disorder, Down syndrome, intellectual disabilities, cerebral palsy, ADHD, reactive attachment disorder, and many other related conditions. Your job is to help clients gain the skills to support a higher quality of life while ensuring proper communication with the family and the leadership team. The skills and treatment plan will be provided to you by a board-certified behavior analyst, otherwise known as a BCBA. The BCBA will serve as your direct supervisor, monitoring the progress of the client. Your participation in data collection assists the BCBA with providing appropriate treatment recommendations for our clients. You will be required to follow the principles of ABA to ensure clients receive high quality and effective services. The ABA Field is our custom-made platform that will help you with data entry, client notes, time entry, pay stubs, HR info, your employee profile, and many other helpful resources. A staffing specialist will work with you to assign you to the cases that you will feel the most comfortable and confident with. We have found that our most successful behavior technicians are open to feedback, professional development, and the continuous learning of the field of behavior analysis. This is a special and rewarding career, and we want to thank you for taking the time to learn more about this incredibly important role within our team.
Okay.
That's so wholesome.
I know. I love the music that they set to that. We have a great video. So, okay. So I'll let you tell us a little bit more.
Yeah. So I'm not sure what's going on. I don't know if anybody else is having this issue, but I'm having an issue where I can't see your entire PowerPoint. So
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me go ahead and I think you know what? I think I know what's going on here. So I think I can fix
I think that's the last tech thing we'll have. And then I'm going to regret saying that.
I know, and then it will inevitably go back to, all right. Yep, oops, wrong one. There we go. All right, now can you see it?
I cannot see anything yet.
Oh man, you know.
I can share from my screen if that's easier. Because I've got it pulled up on mine.
Okay, well, I wonder what was, I know I had selected something there that probably, so maybe if I just do this, screen share, okay, basic, all right, and I think I got it now.
Okay, there we go. Good, we're back on track. Cool.
Sorry, guys.
All right, so the RBT role. When you're working with PBS or working in any sort of RBT role, you're basically the direct line for any sort of treatment implementation. So I look at this as kind of like a CNA for our field, where you'll have a behavior analyst, kind of like the one that's in charge of making the treatment decisions. Sometimes you'll have a BCABA. You might have other licensed professionals working within that realm too, who are also making treatment decisions. But the RBT is the one that's providing direct services. And they may work with somebody who is receiving 20, 30, even 40 hours a week of direct therapy, depending on the need of the learner. A lot of what RBTs do is they'll implement any sort of treatment plan. So let's say I'm working on a program for improving communication. And so what you're going to be doing 20 hours a week, you might be collecting data on improving communication skills. You might be collecting data on training parents. You might actually be training parents, which is a lot of fun, kind of working and problem solving with parents to figure out, hey, you know, this is what's going on. I've got some ideas. Let's go ahead and kind of like collaborate and figure out what's happening there. You're going to apply the interventions that are written by the behavior analyst, and the collaborating with caregivers, I think, is really important. So we work in a space where parents are involved, OT, speech, a lot of different professionals are involved working with the individuals that we serve. And so the RBT is usually one of those first people that will connect with those other folks and work with them to actually enhance treatment, to improve those behaviors, improve the treatment outcomes, and eventually see this really cool quality of life stuff come up. I mean, sometimes you'll see the person's first word ever uttered. You'll see the first time they go out to eat at a restaurant. You'll see the first time they take their steps, and they might be older, but you'll see all these really cool milestones occur as an RBT working with these families. Like, you'll be on that front line with those families during those moments.
So for us, next slide. Okay, so RBTs and our behavior analysts. So a little bit about PBS. Where do our RBTs and BCBAs, where do they work? So we work directly in homes, work in some schools. That's kind of on a client by client basis. And we actually do have some school contracts out there where we will go in and teach teachers or admin staff. We also, like Shane was just saying, sometimes we'll be out in the community with your clients. So if they've always had an issue with eating and waiting at a restaurant, you might be at a restaurant with your client. So PBS is currently in 16 states and Canada. So the states are all listed there. We started out in Florida and have grown pretty quickly. We started out in 2007 and are now in all these different places. So although we do have a pretty large team, obviously 16 states is a lot. We really do have a very small team type of feel. Each team, each county pretty much, like every county or two has a regional coordinator that works and is in charge of that region. And they are pretty much the point person for that region. And they are tasked with, you know, knowing that team, supporting that team, making sure that anything and everything that the BCBAs or RBTs need in that area, they are that person. So we really, really, really do ensure that all of our employees have support, training, and guidance. And we work with all funding sources. And when we say funding sources, by that we mean, how everybody has insurance. So we work with insurance companies. We work with like school contracts. We work, and all demographics as well. We have, oh my gosh, I believe right now our youngest on our wait list might be 3 or 4, all the way up until adulthood. So, and all different types of diagnoses as well. So.
Yeah, I want to say we've worked with individuals who are like 16, 17, 18 months old.
Yeah.
The oldest individual that I've worked with has been in their 60s, late 60s, even early 70s. So yeah, it covers quite a span. Yeah.
It really does. And that's just a map, so you can see we, have spread out all the way out there and way far into the Pacific, and all the way up north into Ontario. So
our CEO and kind of where we started. One of the best things about PBS, and one thing that I've always liked, I've been here since 2006. I'm sorry, the company's been around since 2006. I've been around since 2012. When they first came to the company, they had, it was real small. It was only in Florida. They were just starting to get into Texas. And Dr. Nolan, who was our CEO, he had started this company in his basement. Some of the funniest stories I've ever heard is like him talking about how his wife would have to go refill the toilet paper because all the staff would have to come in and they would use up the facilities at the guest house garage type of space. So, it started with a behavior analyst. He's been the CEO. It's been run by behavior analysts. I think that's one of the coolest things about the company is that it's a behavior analytic company run by behavior analysts, not run by investors, not run by people that don't understand the field. It is a group of people who understand the field running this company and have built it from a garage in Stuart, Florida, all the way through to where we're at now, working in Canada and all those spaces. Now, when he started the company, he had recently completed his PhD at USF, University of South Florida. And he completed his degree working in this idea of positive behavior support, which is a system of behavior analytic practice that does focus on individual outcomes, very humanist approach, and towards this idea of quality of life. So when we go work with our learners, our goal and our prerogative is to make sure that we're improving their lives, not our lives. We're not trying to make our lives easier by having them have no problem behaviors. What we're doing is working on what's important for them. Hey, this guy wants to get married. This guy wants to grow up he wants to go to college. He wants to live on his own. These are things that we want to work on. And that mentality and that framework has been kind of the core value of what our company has been since the very beginning, since the days that we were in the garage to today, which is a multi-state and even an international company.
So what kind of defines PBS? What are we about? We read our company mission. Really the biggest thing, like Shane was saying, we are operated by BCBAs. So the BCBA code of ethics is our code of ethics. So we work directly with stakeholders. We use the term stakeholders. Anybody who is working, who's involved in that client's life, who would want to see them succeed. It's usually referring to like their caregivers, teachers, things like that. We teach skills in a natural learning environment, like in home, where these behaviors are happening, and we successfully fade services whenever possible. It really is our goal to get fired as quickly as possible. We really want to teach families these skills, and then if we were in there 10, 15 hours a week as RBT, if you were in there 15 hours a week, well, hopefully we don't have to be in there as much. So we really have very highly skilled support staff. I will comment that I've never seen a company where everybody has at least a little bit of ABA knowledge. Our QA department has a BC ABA on it. Our HR department has a she's a BC ABA on it. Credentialing, everybody knows the field, so they know what we're doing. They're all great. We really we need our support staff to be just as skilled as our direct care to make sure that our providers are out there and are able to have that support. So that's a little bit about what defines us.
Yeah, another thing that we try to do too is we really try to focus on professional development and support. And we'll talk more about what that looks like when we kind of move into the idea of advancement, because that's always kind of a goal, right? So where am I going to go? If I'm not going to stop here, where's the next step and what does that look like? And so, one thing that we try to do for our RBTs is we have a really strong RBT program. So we have people that go through our training, they complete their competency assessment, they move forward into a career doing the work out there. I mean, it is like kind of taking a CNA exam. You've got to do the training, you've got to take the competency assessment, you've got to take a formal exam that's proctored, you have to do all these things, which is really good. It's not super intense, but it's a lot that it kind of orient you to what the field is like, because behavior analysts have to do supervision hours, we have to do coursework, we have to do our certification. Same thing with LMHCs. Like it can be a pretty rigorous process. The RBTs don't have it as rigorous, which is nice, but we do provide that level of support for those learners kind of walking through that program. One thing that we try to offer for our behavior analysts, we do hold monthly webinars that are CEUs, continuing education, and some journal clubs. So we do constantly contact our research. We spend a lot of time in research. We spend a lot of time doing different things like our supervision summit, our OBM cohorts, or organizational behavior management, because that's another area that we work is with organizations. But we do a lot of professional development for our people. Now, one of the cool things, and this is my baby now, and I love this thing that we do, this idea of the student analyst mentoring program. So what we have right now is this program that hosts weekly meetings we have regional clinical training coordinators, or RCTCs. So what they do is they like to train, they like to supervise, they like to help foster people up and develop them. You get free supervision hours, which means that if you're working towards your certification, you can actually get free supervision from them. From that process, which it ends up being about 1,500 hours altogether of supervision hours that you need. So we offer that for free, but we host these weekly meetings. We have about 48 courses within our mentoring program that we host, and it's designed to help foster and develop skills in our students to become proficient behavior analysts later.
One thing that we didn't talk about with our CEO, Dr. Nolan, yet is how much he really loves to have the latest and greatest technology as part of the support package for our direct care providers. So actually custom built, a lot of companies, there are a lot of products buy out there to do behavior plans and HR, software and stuff like that. Well, we've actually have our own, Microsoft has a program called SharePoint that you can customize, and we have gone above and beyond. And the ABA field is what that little video mentioned, and it literally makes it so easy. Everything that you need, everything, your schedule, your client notes, your documents, your resource library is all in this one-stop shop. So we have a dedicated IT team. They are fabulous. They are always working at literally every Friday we get a new update called our Friday Tech Update, been added to the ABA field this week. Here are the new things that you can do that are going to make your life easier. So we really make sure that that extra fun paperwork stuff goes as easy as possible for our direct care providers. So we literally, like I said, we have online behavior plans, and our RBTs actually do their data entry on because we are working in home, obviously, you're going out, you're driving to the client's home. Well, we actually give you an app of the clients that are on our wait list that are needing to be staffed. So you don't get their names, of course, but you can actually see okay, wow, that client's really close to my other client. So I'm going to request to pick up that client and have them on my caseload. And also our technology with that, you get paid for your drive time as an employee with us. But you don't need to calculate it. It automatically does it. So technology is something that we are very on, and we really a whole one-stop shop for all of our employees.